Ooh, good evening. Hey, family. Hey, family. You know, as I've been on this journey to self-discovery, uh, it's not the easiest road to be on, but in the end, I think it's going to be the most beneficial road to be on. And I say that because I've really been examining, you know, I've really been on this kick with mental health in the black community because I contend that we got so much stuff going on in terms of our relationship, how we handle each other, just a major psychosis that's going on um, in that sub community. Because you already know if white folks are crazy, then black people are insane asylum bait. So I just want to share with you an incident as I've been dealing with my codependency issues and the breakup of a long-term relationship that I really realized. Um, no matter how much I love the person, I don't think the relationship was serving me. The relationship was draining me to no end, and it wasn't healthy. It was very toxic. In fact, I never thought that I would be sitting here looking at people saying that, I was on the receiving end of one of the most verbally abusive relationships I could have possibly ever been in. So I had to examine why I stayed. Why would I stay in a relationship with someone that's clearly devaluing me? And when they get angry, they go from 0 to 100, um, and take no prisoners with their rage. Uh, I had to really examine myself to find out why I would put up with such abuse. And of course, it led me to my codependency issues and a lot of core childhood beliefs and childhood experiences that I really need that needed addressing. So as I began to heal those wounds, I began to see other wounds more clearly. One of them happened to be a situation that I wanted to share with you about my uncle. My uncle lives out of town, and he's my uncle is street dude. You know, he he's just a street dude. So he's in his 70s now. And my uncle never used drugs until he got shot in the head. He still got a bullet in his head, and every once in a while he coughs the fragments out, which causes him an enormous amount of pain. Never deny that. So once that happened, he would begin to snort heroin, sometimes for the pain, and actually it was just from one effect to the next. So anyway, this uncle calls me, and I hate to look at myself as an enabler, but when you're doing the work, I was. He called me and asked me for $20 or $30, and of course I said, okay, Unc, I'll do it. And that was like on a Monday, and in the intro of that happening, getting a chance to send him the money, a very good friend of mine's brother passed away. And this brother, by the way, is who maintenance my yard, who's just really cleans my garage. Just a good friend. And he didn't have insurance. So it was so heavy on my heart that kind of put some stuff away, meaning my uncle, for a couple of days. I wasn't really ready to deal with him and all that stuff. And I had also had a client who had had his leg amputated the next day. So there was a lot of stressful situations going on where I really wasn't able to um, get to my uncle right away. But I was supposed to send my uncle a postal money order. Go to the post office, go get him a money order, and send him these dollars. Okay? And he should have received it by about Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. Okay. Well, of course, I didn't get a chance to do that. And I took care of the business with my friend. And, made sure that I was able to contribute there, uh, and took care of my client. And I guess my uncle didn't really think that that was the right thing for me to do, but that's neither here nor there. So I called my uncle about 3 days later, and I go, Uncle, 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 listen, as opposed to waiting on this money order, postal money order, which we know is going to take 3 days, I've decided to send the money MoneyGram. So it's there waiting on you. All you have to do is go and pick it up. And he goes, oh, really? Yeah. Oh, because I was mad at you. And yada, yada. And, okay. Mind you, after I explained to him what the delay was and what my week consisted of, I couldn't believe his response. So it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but then I said, maybe I'm oversensitive. Okay, so although I told him that the money was there, for whatever reason, it got crossed up, it wasn't there. I asked him to stay put, don't leave, and go back home because I was calling the Western Union and we would figure out what was going on. Well, he, in that, went home and called me and told me he was at home. But by this time, I said, okay, well, your money is there. You need to go back. And he says, well, how much money did you send me? I said, well, you asked me for 20 or 30. And I sent you 45. Yeah, I sent you $45. So not thinking that I sent him $40 because the $5 was the fee. Okay. It's so ridiculous that when I think about it, I'm just like, wow, what kind of monsters have I created? Because this is definitely a monster. So my uncle gets there, and I guess he's taking care of his business. And I told him I had to call the hospital, and he told me not to do that because he needs to make sure that don't do anything till he talks to me. Don't call, don't do anything. And I said, no, while you go run to the store, I'm going to do this because this is how I make my money. And I won't be able to send you no money if I don't have a job. So my first priority right now is to find out where my client is and how he's doing. Because I was a little perturbed. Okay, not all the way, but oh, yeah, okay. That was his response. So I'm on the hospital. He phone with the hospital. He called. I couldn't answer right away because I told him I would call him back when I got off the phone with the hospital. I talked with the hospital, and before I could hang up good, my uncle called me again. I'm like, wow, okay. So I was about to hang up anyway. I just expedited it, hung up. Yeah, Uncle, what's up? Oh, I said, you only sent me $40? Wow. Wow. I couldn't believe what I heard. Now here I was taking the time to send this grown old man some money. Probably that he's gonna probably do something crazy with. I had to start, and I got mad at myself. And I said, you go through all this, you running around, you don't have time to take care of your own self. You trying to help other people. And what comes out of his mouth is, oh, you sent me $40? I was too through. So I said, well, Uncle, it was 45. I forgot about the fee. It was 45. I forgot about the fee. And I said, surely you're not going to trip on $5 or nothing, right? You're not going to be mad at me. Well, what you mean, Nishi? What you talking about? Man, I ain't finna get mad at no goddamn $5. And the way he said it, he said, I'm going to call you back later, Nishi. I'm going to call you back later, though. Thank you, though. Because I was quiet. I never heard from him again, that night, and all it could do was leave me to sit here and think to myself, what the hell just happened? This ungrateful man just called me and asked me for $20 or $30, and I sent him 40. And he thinks that I owe him something. And because I'm an enabler and I haven't given him stuff, he think he had the nerve to devalue me, dishonor me. The thank you was so insincere, and instead of getting mad at my uncle, all I could do was just think about myself and say, okay, I got some recreating, recreating steps I have to do, and if it take now until the time I leave this earth, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to continue to do. I was involved in a 17-year relationship that I was verbally abused, and I'm not saying that I'm a saint, but I kept saying, the more I give this person, the more bigger their demands become, to the point where this person is actually living in my home, not taking any financial responsibility, uh, not, and in fact, it got so bad that they act like they were doing me a favor to even clean up. And then when they cleaned up, they had to control the whole house. Everybody had to be quiet, and it was just like the energy in the home was being totally drained. And I looked at that relationship and my codependency nature in it, which is now allowing me to evaluate all the relationships around me and how I'm relating to them and how they're relating to me. And the first thing that came out of my mind, into my heart, in my head, is no more. No more. If I gotta be a walking ATM, and if I really don't know who I am in a relationship, I have to find a different role. I'm not a savior, I'm not a healer. I'm not somebody for you to drain the energy of until there's nothing left. All while your needs are being met. I will no longer tolerate a person living with me and won't pick up their share of the financial load. In fact, don't want to do it. And every time I mention money, it becomes a fight. So I realize just how much I've been unloving to myself in the last 3 years. And I'm going to do everything in my power to show God that I'm worthy of the life that He's given me and the talents that He's bestowed upon me. And I will never, ever, ever let another human being come in and invade my space and take over my life and devalue me ever again. I'm going to continue to deal with my childhood issues, the ones that make me codependent in the relationship, the ones that make me the issues that have to be wounds that have to be sometimes opened up and re-scraped, that are painful. I have to have the courage to deal with it. Otherwise, I'm going to keep attracting this kind of stuff in my life, and I don't really think I got that much time or that much energy. So what I'm saying is to say, get healthy, y'all. Start examining the relationships around you. Start examining the people that are in your life, trying to run your life. And if you're in a situation where you have been abused, damaged by a parent or parents, and you haven't spent time to heal from those relationships, you probably got some damage in some your relationships, and or you're on a cycle and things are happening over and over again. You can't figure out why you picking the same kind of dude, picking the same kind of woman. It's those reasons. and we're on a mission to get healthy. Okay, get our minds right. So I thank you for listening and sharing with me, and we're gonna continue to examine this, and I'm gonna keep on telling you and sharing my experiences with you as I embark upon this road to rediscovery and redirection. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye now.